program, how many graduating classes are going to have to graduate in order for you to get some insight as to whether or not this is working or the impact of it?
We actually are using some of the field test data that we're collecting in 2010 and 2011 to track students and to be able to track those students more quickly through the first year of college. That's one of the granting of authority that was made by the legislature in HB3, and that was our ability to require school districts to participate in live administrations of the end-of-course assessments prior to the 11-12 school year in order to get representative data to be able to gather some of that data in advance.
Well, since you're going to, the 7th graders now are the ones that are going to be really measured by that, then by the time they get to the 12th grade, that's the first real data that you have. So that's going to sit as an opportunity to see, and it may take 3 or 4 graduating classes for you to get this right, which means that more students are going to fall down by the wayside as far as I'm concerned in trying to make sure that this is working, or we're going to be right back where we started with the task test and the controversy that it's created. So,
well, a couple of things. While it is true that there are issues with that being unmotivated versus motivated data, we are finding that more and more school districts are actually electing to participate in end-of-course testing, requiring that those assessments be administered and count as part of the student's grade in advance of having to meet those requirements in 2011, 2012.
Is Dallas Independent School District doing that?
We've been in conversation with Houston ISD. They're actually interested in requiring that as many students as possible take those assessments. And
because this is going to, I know that people have many issues with the task test and teaching to the test, and I guess this is sort of teaching to the course, but you're still teaching to a test in order for the students to be able to even pass the course, that they're going to have to take an assessment, and that means that we really haven't accomplished anything as far as I'm concerned, because we're still looking at a measurement to say, and guidelines by which, is everyone across the state going to get the same assessment test at the end of the course?
Yes.
Okay. So when you look at that, this is just the task test reincarnated, or to me, readjusted, because
it's an end-of-course exam. It's an end-of-course exam that lets the teacher teach the course, and that's the test that is administered.
Yeah, but they're still going to, there is a test that they're going to have to take. And so they're going to know what the test says. So even though they're going to, I don't see where there's a whole lot. One thing that they talk about that's lacking in students is the comprehension, because there's still going to be the nervousness about whether or not, because these kids,
let me say, are tested now anyway.
I know, and that's why I don't see really any difference.
Routinely.
That's what I'm saying. I don't
no
see
testing in schools?
I think that there should be testing, but I also think there should be teaching, because the whole controversy is that comprehension and making sure that the kids understand, and I think what Dr. Allen was talking about particularly is not leaving them behind. And I know there are resources that you give schools, resources that you give teachers additional to make sure that they can comprehend. So the task test has been very controversial because it's it's just one all. So now they have many tests that they have to take, and they have to have a cumulative point, which still with the task test, that's accumulation because it's a one-time accumulation, whereas this is a several test accumulation. So, and I do believe that even though this word that you use, you said motivated and non-motivated, that they're engaged in that, that's a prerequisite to see how is this going to work. So it's still going to be that we're going to have 3 or 4 graduating classes to have the cumulative data that's needed to see if this is even correct or if this is the right thing to do. And we're right back where we started. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out, because
We're tying everything together. It will pan out.
Play out.
Pan out.
I wasn't confused, Mr. Chairman. I wasn't confused about my terminology. All due respect. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Very quickly on page.
Yes, Dr. Aycock.
we're both confused about this, I think.
I was going to get him to explain it to me. He said he was going to have to find out first.
And I apologize for
I guess one of the concerns I have when you talk about this cumulative over 3